Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We from Group 5 will present Chapter 10 about what it takes to be an innovator. The members are Devina, Alvina, Alfa, Naila, Echa, and Hakim. Uh, this chapter focus on this issue commonly referred to as soft skills, characteristic, and attitude, which in most situations are just as important as if not more important than discipline knowledge. There is nothing soft about the skills they determine performs. The soft skills can be more appropriately referred to as integrating skills or collaborative business skills. They are the skills that allow the implementation of discipline knowledge to achieve an objective. In the final analysis, the innovator needs what I refer to as the put it all together competence that includes skills, characteristic, and attitude. The bottom-up innovator will need an abundance of these competence. Okay, next slide. Mm, New factors and characteristics the business climate. First sort technology and project life cycle. Second, business globalization. Third, increasing demands for accountability. Okay, next, put it all together competence. Uh, this picture shows the skills, characteristic, and attitude and knowledge record of the innovator. First, there are the principal skills that innovators need to develop: leadership, communication, and project management. Second, innovators also display certain personal characteristics that allow them to take a broader perspective of their responsibility. They think strategically. They may be engineers or science or marketers, but they can wear the business hat when necessary. They are masters in some discipline but knowledgeable across many other disciplines and and they learn to do and to learn. The need for this characteristic depends on the scope and type of innovation. The bottom-up innovator will record on oversupply of this characteristic. Third, there are attitudes that allow the innovator to manage the innovation process. And the fourth element is knowledge, which is the essence of innovation, the ability to observe the environment and uncover opportunity depends on the breadth of knowledge. These four elements are incredible and given the put it all together competence. The innovator needs to possess some minimum level of each. Okay, next, skills. Leadership, communication, and project management skills give the innovators a head start in gaining acceptance of their ideas. People who can be pathfinders and look to the future, communicate that vision, and manage their project from a strategic perspective reduce the obstacle in gaining support from management and their colleagues and peers. Communication skills are a necessary element of leadership and project management. Leadership demands high levels of competence in communicating at all levels of the organization. Project management skills provide the tools.
Leadership in innovation. Leadership is often classified into three categories: strategic, visionary, and managerial. There are two types of leadership that the innovator provides. Leadership in innovation, leadership in the business of the firm. Leadership in innovation doesn't require being a multidisciplinary specialist. It does require a knowledge base and the skills of competencies to promote innovation. It requires the ability to separate from the pack, think independently, and often take a position contrary to the consensus. This takes a high level of maturity, a modicum of diplomacy, the ability to accept criticism as well as possible mental abuse, and the courage to disregard the naysayers. While providing leadership in the business may not be the goal of the innovator, it can be an added benefit. Innovators bring a set of special skills to the table. Successful innovators have the ability to take an idea, turn it inside out, turn it upside down, rotate it, and manipulate it until the idea makes sense. This type of thinking can be contagious if allowed to grow, but it cannot be micromanaged. The talent can also be used to sort out those opportunities disregarded by the rank and file. The following list of attributes applies generally to all leaders in industry. The same attributes apply to innovators. First, accept responsibility and accountability. The rose must be pinned on someone. Second, don't kill the messenger. While bad news is difficult to accept, if it's accepted immediately, it creates a minimum negative impact. Time really is of the essence. Third, make judgment based on acceptable facts. Leaders cannot wait until all the facts have been accumulated. Some minimum level is required. The rest is judgment even with the support of a host of sophisticated models, simulation, and computer programs. Fourth, make the complex simple. Make the complex easy to understand. The essence needs to be communicated. Fifth, follow through with clear decision. Eliminate any hidden meanings. The decision may not be acceptable, but it must be understood. Acceptance involves understanding the implication. 6. Challenge the so-called expert. Experts have their place, but they also have agendas. They may be experts of the past and not focus on the future. 7. Understand that the devil is in the details. Attending to details is boring but essential. Poor project performance often result from a lack of follow-through on details. 8. Develop a proactive philosophy. Leaders exhibit a proactive stance. It's too late to become proactive when an emergency arises. That emergency might have been avoided if someone had been proactive. 9. Absolute the present before its time. It's difficult to absolute products, processes, and activities that at one time provided significant benefit. timely obsolescence prevents future crises. 10. Promote a positive attitude. Look for solutions, not scapegoats. Blame only creates discord and destroys relationship. Those responsible must be held accountable, but the problem requires a solution. Focus on the resolving the problem. How do innovators develop these leadership skills? They learn by trying and doing. Not everyone has the capacity to take a leadership role. People satisfied with the status quo should probably recognize their limitations in providing leadership and become constructive followers who fully understand the goals of the leaders.
I will talk about communication skill. The first topic is understanding the communication skill of an innovator. Some people may have the ability to communicate effectively, where they are able to say the message well and have a very good tone of voice. It is not shared by everyone and they must struggle to communicate effectively. Communication skills are a vital component in life, but communication involves more than the written word. The ability to communicate effectively in many different formats cannot be overemphasized. There are 5 basic types of communication: oral, written, graphic, listening, and reading. The first one is oral communication. This communication is face-to-face. This system relies on communication participant and can only occur when someone is face-to-face, and this communication is concerned with appearance. That is, everyone who wants to communicate verbally considers self-appearance, especially the readiness of the sense to become a medium and at the same time a message in the process communication. Oral communication often lacks the required specificity. Too often, what should take one sentence goes into extended and unrelated commentary. Too often, more information is being provided than what is necessary. Too often, the important part of the communication gets lost in detailed minutiae. Too often, the original comment is repeated without adding any additional information. And how and where do people learn to improve their oral communication? The first rule is to just answer the question that was asked. All the background is not required unless essential. If the question was vague, ask for clarification. Many educational organizations provide instruction in effective oral speaking. It only takes practice. The second is written. Written communication takes many different forms. It includes general correspondence, documentation of various types, reports, proposal, operating instruction, manual specification, and formal presentation. There are principles in written communication such as completeness, conciseness, consideration, concreteness, clarity, courtesy, correctness, and the writer has failed if the receiver does not comprehend what was written. The next one is graphic. Graphic communication is a form of the process of delivering message to the public through the media of an image. In making this graphic communication, what you really need to pay attention to is the text, graphic illustration, and also the color that will be produced. This graphic communication has been divided into 5 parts, including print media, outdoor media, electronic media, media display, and memorable item. Number 4 is listening. Listening skills are part of communication skill. Many people think that listening is a very easy thing to do, but in an effective communication, what is needed is not just listening, but also being able to grasp and know the intent of the speaker. Someone in listening to information effectively has process such as listening, understanding, remembering, interpreting, and evaluating. The last is reading. Reading skills are activities to find out the message the reader wants to convey through written language or words in sentence. Good reading skill will help to grasp concept and understand what the writer wants to convey through a writing. The purpose of reading is to obtain information that includes content and meaning. So, is all this necessary? In the world of work, communication is an important element to increase one's motivation to work. Good communication can influence someone to be more active at work, and bad communication can also have an impact on someone's work motivation and cause conflict within the company. I stress the communication aspect of innovation because the innovator's success depends on good communication. Ideas, ideas require making explanation to many people who come from different disciplines.
Project management. Project management is a process of leading the work of a team to achieve goals and meet success criteria at specific time. There are 6 principles of strategic project management. 1. Leadership. Turn the project manager into the project leader and have full responsibility for business results. 2. Strategy. Can find a strategy that can win the market by looking for advantage. 3. Spirit. Develop a passion for creating a meaningful, attractive, and motivating product vision. 5. Integration. Make a strategic plan that covers all areas with a lot of consideration. 6. Learning. Make all activities become pleasant. The 4 elements of project strategy. 1. Product definition or competitive advantage. It is necessary to identify the objective. The competitive advantage evaluate the product vision, the product type, the functional requirements, cost effectiveness, and product specification. 2. Business perspective. This is meant to be successful in the market area. 3. Project or scope definition. You must set the boundaries. What should you have done or not? Typically, this involves developing a statement of work and work breakdown structure. 4. Strategic focus. Create a set of behavior to achieve a competitive advantage. Strategic focus involves 4 components: position, policy, behavior, and process. Characteristic. Innovators have their own character. It can be luck, talent, or hard work. Although there are some who practice nepotism, but most innovators fall into these 3 categories. Opportunity finders and problem solvers. In this technological advancement, innovators need people who look for opportunity and problem in the company. Problem solvers do keep the organization in a place, but without opportunity and problem finders, the organization will have a hard time to developing. Power of observation. Observation is the key to the company's future development. Because innovation and ideas come after a lot of observation. That's why These are the most important.
Ability to conceptualize. Innovation begins with an idea or a group of ideas, but another critical step is translating an idea into a concept. It means that the idea must be visualized as meeting some of set requirements. Someone may have had an idea for a new widget, but until that idea is conceptualized in relation to usefulness, the technologies, the marketing and distribution issues, and the financial requirements, it continues to remain an idea. Example of ability to conceptualize is the Thomas Edison Laboratories. Some of the inventions that came from the Edison Laboratories include the carbon button telephone transmitter, the incandescent lamp, the phonograph, motion picture device, and the detecting machine. The Thomas Edison Laboratories provide an excellent example of converting ideas to concepts to innovation. The laboratory is a good example of innovation by design. The methods were relatively unsophisticated and involved a great deal of cut and dry activity. If one experiment failed to meet the requirements, another followed and each provided an additional piece of information. The tools were primitive compared to the computer-aided design programs that have eliminated much of the drudgery in providing a concept, but the ideas flowed. Not everyone has the ability to conceptualize. To make a concept, think of an idea and then develop it into a concept that will lead to an invention. Analysis and synthesis. There certainly is no shortage of analysis in any of the professional disciplines. The problem occurs when we look for people who can synthesize information from many different sources. Analysis is essential, but synthesis of fact into a workable program demands a particular type of talent. Analyses are plentiful, but syntheses are in short supply. Synthesis requires breadth of knowledge as contrasts to depth. Every organization can document the wasted effort because of the conflict that occur between the technology and marketing sides of the organization. While such conflict can be managed by directive, someone with knowledge of the technology and marketing issues could make a more appropriate decisions. The question will not be resolved by consensus within the appropriate time limits. The question will be answered when the needs of those involved are met satisfactorily. Are inventors creative, or are creative people inventors? Innovation has been described as a process that goes from an idea to a concept to an invention and finally to an innovation. Inventors are problem-oriented. They not only look for problems, but they look for solutions. They like to discuss ideas for the simple sake of discussing ideas. Their notes on those luncheon napkins provide of a source of energy. Motivate. Motivation drives innovation. Self-motivation drives innovators. And they demonstrate that motivation in different ways. Innovation is an uphill struggle toward a goal, and innovators have their moments when the end seems out of sight. This self-motivation helps them pursue their goal in spite of setbacks. It takes a lot of setbacks to make innovators give up the quest for a new product or something else that they have decided to pursue. Self-motivated innovators possess self-confidence, a sense of passion that they have the answer to some major breakthrough, and a basic philosophy of going beyond what is expected. Business orientation. Innovation by definition is about the future of the firm. What does the putting of the business hat mean? Very simple. It means keeping the end result in mind from a system perspective. Each piece of the puzzle may stand alone, but it also interacts with others, so this interface must be rationalized. If one of the pieces of the puzzle is missing, the total effort may have been in vain. Strategic thinkers. Strategic thinking is not normally associated with innovator. Strategic thinking is not strategic planning. Strategic thinking clarifies and points the direction. It charts the course and makes allowance for deviation in that course. Strategic thinking also describes the process. Charting the course without describing the process by which the process on that course leads to undertaking many false starts. A new product innovation must fit into the strategic direction as described by the organization. The marketing and technology expectation must also fit the organization's strategic direction. Why the organization should pursue this particular innovation is a strategic decision. If some level of strategic thinking takes place in the idea to concept stage, the organization can more easily determine its feasibility. Strategic decision cannot wait until the innovation research, the project or launch stage. Tactician. What does it mean to be a tactician? It means deciding how the job will be accomplished. Innovators need to know how to bootleg research. They also need to know how to use the organization infrastructure system. Strong work ethic. Innovation is not for the weak in spirit. A strong work ethic is essential but does not necessarily mean working around the clock. Innovators are often described as being tenacious, committed, and resolute in their pursuit of their goal. These qualities are essential, but a good work ethic also involves capitalizing on the talents of other people. Recognizing personal limitations regarding knowledge and skill allows the innovator to provide for this limitation through others. Such action allow the innovators to drive to conclusion rather than become frustrated from lack of understanding. Integrating knowledge and practice. Innovation is a practitioner's art, it's not theory. Knowledge and expertise come from practice. While knowledge of innovation can provide the basic understanding, doing innovation takes practice. Like any activity, acquiring the facts is only the beginning. Knowledge and practice follow an exponential curve. Knowledge occurs from doing and learning and doing and learning and so on. Polite aggressiveness. Innovators by their very nature display some level of aggressiveness. If they were not aggressive, they probably would not be innovators. To be aggressive does not imply being discourteous, disrespectful, impolite, rude, divisive, or despairing. An innovator may disagree with a colleague or a manager, perhaps even violently disagree, but that disagreement cannot become personal. Significant difference in thinking cannot become personal vendettas. Innovators need to practice a kind of polite aggressiveness. Those who do not understand or support the innovator cannot be considered as unintelligent, unthinking, unreceptive, unreasoning, or irrational people. Innovation involves something new, something not proposed previously. If that proposed innovation affects the status, objections will be raised.
My name is Aulia Kimhamdi. I will explain about attitudes. Attitude describes the manner in which we approach any activity, whether at home, in the workplace, or in any group of people. Attitudes determine the success or failure of any innovation. Negative, moody, or reactive attitudes will not generate any support. Attitude defines our personalities and determines relation with colleagues and peers. All the knowledge and experience without an appropriate attitudes often leads to failure. Innovation depends on people working together, the team. Innovators needs to demonstrate positive attitudes to gain support because uh, attitudes is very important. And then uh, attitudes include some of the following action. The first is adopt a flexible attitude. You need to show sufficient flexibility, but not so much as to get away from the basic principle. And then the second is develop an agile approach. The terms requires meeting commitments even in the face of frequent change. And the third is make reliability your mantra. You can build a track record without it because others needs to be able to depend on you. And the fourth is practice absolute integrity in dealing with people. Yeah, tell the whole story and stick to the fact. The future of the innovator depends on it. And then the fifth is treat colleagues with respect. Treat colleagues with respect is shardy behavior will return to haunt you. And the sixth is anticipates needs and event. Anticipates needs and event. This is not about predicting the future, but it involves keeping the sense open. And the seventh is observe the environment and take the choose. The internal and external environments provide cues as to direction and business philosophy. You need to know how they affect your performance. And then the eighth is focus on accuracy. Your signature is on everything you do. Accuracy boosts or destroy your credibility. And then the ninth is create opportunity for other. Create opportunity for other is you might be the innovator, but bring others along and give them credit where due. Due. And then the 10 is accept divergent thinking. Accept divergent thinking, you may or may not be right, and you may learn something of of value from others. And next is accept and understand other cultures, other cultures, accept and understand other cultures. If working across national boundaries, understand the culture you're working with. Example, you working with friend in another country or another city, you must understand their cultures. And next is be open to continuous learning. Be open to continuous learning is innovation should be a continuous learning experience for the innovator. And next is adopt a proactive stance. Take the leads. The words inactive and reactive shall not be in your vocabulary. And the last is make commitment. If you make a commitment, keep it. Results are the way to demonstrate commitment. Okay, next go to next slide is the innovators knowledge base. The innovation success equation requires acceptable multidiscipline. Knowledge relates to organizational function, management process of innovation, and general business practice. Innovators do need some acceptable level of competence, and the level depends on the specific organization, its objective, its infrastructure, and the innovation under consideration. Not all innovation require the same knowledge base. Innovation in the petroleum process industries will be quite different from innovation in chip manufacturing. Whether computer chip or potato chip is different. Knowledge is more than book learning, but innovators needs not be a master of all things, but needs to be totally aware of the knowledge associated with purposeful and effective innovation. The role of the innovator is a difficult but rewarding one for the right person. We can see from the requirement that not many people will subject themselves to the rigors of being an innovator, even though the requirements are difficult to meet. That's not a reason to fear becoming. That's not reason to fear becoming an Innovator. Wait. Next slide is this knowledge base includes of this major field of interest. Knowledge in some field of major interest, whether learned formally or informally, is key. And then next is relates technical field. The complex interrelationship of technologies that go into even the simplest of products requires some understanding of related discipline. And after that, manufacturing. some minimal understanding of the manufacturing requirement or relying on someone who can raise the issues in the early innovation stage is needed. And then marketing. Markets and marketing drive innovation. Market size, customer requirement, and distribution channel issues require attention. And after that is evaluation or justification. Evaluation or justification, substage evaluation for justification. Innovation involve risks that are not amenable to simple justification criteria. And then gaining support. Some minimum level of understanding of human behavior can ease the route to success. The innovator cannot do it alone, and the innovator must he he really need support from other people. I think from her parents or her from parent or from friend to support the innovator. And then after that is sponsor. Innovator needs to know how to work with a sponsor. A consistent track record coupled with total honesty and integrity is the entry price of admission. And then peers and colleagues. Innovator needs to know the competencies of their peers and colleagues, whose level of knowledge is important. Uh, and after that is the decision process. The decision process tools, though helpful, are often insufficient. Compromise among disciplines requires judgment. And then general business practice. Know where the organization is going and how it's planned to get there. Its purpose, objective, strategies, and operation. And then making the complex simple. Simplification in all activities. Test the competency of the innovator and the organization. Ignore the non-essential. And after that is managing time. Managing time is too often emphasis is placed on the tool of time management. Although time management is important, the use of time, total time, and timing of new product introduction requires greater attention. The next is setting priorities. Not all aspects of an innovation have the same priorities. Resolve thus, unresolved issues now. Maybe the big priorities and the low priorities. That's different. And then project management. Project management successful innovation depends on employing the fundamental of project management, especially the front end effort. It's not tool and techniques, but thinking. Next is product concept to commercialization process. This process is contextual. Innovators need to understand the working of that process. After that is product development process. Product development process for guidance. Use the list that suggests details about developing the purpose, objective, and strategies. Developing the framework, doing the upfront work, and managing project review. And the last is system thinking. Innovation takes place within an organizational system. Innovator must also take a system approach to innovation. Single issue emphasis doesn't work. Yes. This is the slide of includes knowledge base. And the next slide is innovator as a career option. It depends on the individual. It depends on what the individual bring to the table and the people who are sitting at the table. We do know that innovator process are a particular kind of drift and a passion for pursuing some type of effort. We don't know when, how, or where innovators come up with that idea that leads to innovation. A professional from any disciplines begins a career with knowledge and not much experience. There are those few who from birth. It seems pursued some endeavor that lead to invention or innovation. There are those few who had work opportunity either prior or during their college year that gave them a head start. Although innovation is not related to any specific time in a career, it usually occurs after some year of experience. Knowledge by itself is usually insufficient in some profession. Knowledge must be coupled with real-world experience, and that requires acquiring a different kind of knowledge. This is what is commonly known as street smart. It's knowledge that is gained through experience, through learning about the linkage that a particular profession has to other profession, gaining an understanding of the system in which the work is performed. How management nurtures these early career periods usually governs the future of the individual's contribution to innovation. And this is the last from me. Opportunity to innovate. We cannot predict when the opportunity to innovate will arise because it will appear suddenly when we see something new and we try to combine it with other things. Then we get the opportunity to innovate accidentally and be able to realize your innovative ideas. So that something is created that has never existed before. If we want to have the opportunity to innovate, we must seek as many experience as possible so that we can find our innovative ideas when looking for that new experience.